And people love it. Whatever he says, they just love it. Biden hands out loose GT Cola can to unexpected trick-or-treater. Dover, Delaware. Telling his only trick-or-treater to hang tight a sec while Uncle Joe scares up some Halloween goodies. Former Vice President Joe Biden reportedly disappeared and returned 10 minutes later with a warm can of GT Cola, sources confirmed Friday. Here you go, bud. Thought I could hook you up with a spare ramen flavor packet, but I must have gotten a mean case of the munchies. Didn't bargain any other visitors when I left the porch light on for my main squeeze. Said Biden, cautioning the child that she might want to give the rim a quick rinse first, since the garage fridge where he found the soda can was kind of on the blink. That's a badass little get-up you're sporting there. Reminds me of the time I caught Poison's 86 Halloween show dressed as a California raisin. I don't remember jack, except ending the night with a naughty nurse I met backstage, though I could have saved myself a fat lip if I knew she was banging Bret Michaels, too. According to sources, Biden then darted back into his house after remembering he had just bought a shit ton of caramel edibles. You never read the Diamond Joe Biden stories from The Onion? Oh, God. Oh, my God. It was so good. Biden frantically cleaning up trashed vice president residence at last second. Washington. Telling reporters he needed to get his digs back into primo condition as quickly as possible, Vice President Joe Biden was seen scrambling around Friday morning in a frantic attempt to clean up number 1 Observatory Circle just hours before his successor was scheduled to move into the residence. Biden, who said he needed to get the place real fucking clean because the incoming resident was a total tight ass, reportedly spent his last remaining moments in the home darting from room to room, prying Keystone Light cans and empty bottles of Jose Cuervo from the sticky wooden floors and tossing them into heavy-duty black plastic trash bags. According to sources, the vice president paused frequently to sniff the colonial and federal-style furnishings, spraying an aerosol disinfectant on anything that smelled iffy. I thought the casa might need a little tune-up before I gave back the keys, but this is way more of a shitstorm than I bargained for, said the outgoing vice president, who then opened a second-story window to hurl out a heavily stained 200-year-old rug that was a gift from the British ambassador, Viscount Halifax. Truth be told, I'm not even sure how I got fucked up so bad. I guess Dynamite Joe must have raged harder than I remember. I'll do my best to give the place a good scrub down, but I can't guarantee there won't be a few souvenirs left over from my time in the saddle, continued Biden, picking out shards of a broken lava lamp from the cushions of a damask settee that was draped in several large beach towels to hide its numerous cigarette burns. Shit, clock's a ticking. I better get a move on. According to aides, Biden crammed several embroidered drapes into the 123-year-old home's washing machine, sprinted into the kitchen, where he dumped an entire bottle of detergent into a sink overflowing with Lennox china, and then left the faucet running as he grabbed a piece of coarse steel wool and turned his attention to buffing out the words rat and crew, which have been carved in large letters into the decorative molding of his dining room chair. The winded and perspiring vice president was reportedly later seen hurrying around the residence, using a piece of cardboard torn off from a Cutco knives box to sweep an array of peanut shells, old scratch-off tickets, half-empty packets of ramen noodles, and chameleon brand condom wrappers under various armoires and antique couches. According to reports, Biden then rushed to move a dresser originally belonging to Aaron Burr in front of a hole that he said had been punched in the wall by one of Arne Duncan's douchebag pals during his 2010 State of the Union after party. Sources confirmed that Biden worked incessantly throughout the morning, pausing only to crank up Warren's cherry pie on a battered boombox he had propped on a chair in the reception hall. Ain't got time for dicking around since I have to figure out what shit I'm taking and what I'm going to hawk to the news suckers, said Biden, as he furiously sifted through a pile of his best wank mags before tossing a weathered 1982 issue of Fling into a box labeled Keepers. And as for the rest of this fancy crap, they say it's all property of the Navy, but I'm sure it's all ganking a flat-screen TV or two. I did my time helping Barry take care of business. Nothing wrong with making it worth my while, the president added. When pressed on his moving van's arrival time, Biden revealed he had declined the government's contracted moving company in favor of his buddies Paco and Scuzz, with whom he reportedly went way the fuck back. The vice president admitted that while the two men weren't professional movers, they had tons of experience handling valuables and could be trusted to look the other way at his office supplies, including roughly 4.5 pounds of some real dank Bubba Kush. Additionally, Biden said that he could use any extra time to scrub the carpet in the sitting room, where he had had done a significant amount of spray painting while souping up a red 1979 Harley-Davidson Electra Glide that he repeatedly referred to as his Cherry Chariot. It blows that I have to spend my last few hours here cleaning up instead of savoring all the good times we had living, loving, and rocking our socks off, said Biden, who decided to leave behind a prized butterfly sex swing for the incoming second family. Besides, what's the point? I'm going to end up tossing most of this stuff in the trash hole anyway. Except the twins, the 6-time Delaware senator continued, tucking a Budweiser brand, life-size cutout of 2 scantily clad cowgirls under his arm. They're coming with Uncle Joe. Isn't it awesome? Yeah. Oh, I love Onion Biden.
Yeah, I never read that before. That's hilarious. Okay, I'm going to go change, and then it's time.
Well, maybe a little more Biden. Yeah, maybe a spanking and a little more Biden.
What'd you say?
Oh, you heard what I said. You can guess what I said. I mean, you don't need to.
Why do you want to spank me? I've been so good.
Oh, is that what you call it? Oh, yeah, okay, that's interpretive, yeah.
I'm so good. Everyone thinks so.
Biden scores 800 feet of copper wire. Nude Biden wakes up on cold slab in DC morgue.
Okay, ready?
No, come here.
No.
No, you come here.
No.
You come here.
I like you back there. No, I'm just kidding. I'm coming.
Oh, are you? Really?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I can't accept any more spanking stuff.
Oh, is that what you think? Well, we'll just have to test that. You might learn something.
Business.
Mm-hmm. Biden has guy named Worm sit in for him at cabinet meeting. Washington, claiming they had a major shitstorm he had to deal with, Vice President Joe Biden reportedly had a guy named Worm sit in for him at a cabinet meeting Thursday, assuring senior officials in the administration that his buddy was a top-notch dude. Worm is cool, he can handle it, no problemo, said Biden, who informed cabinet members that Worm would get the lay of the land real damn quick. Listen, I would stay for this little powwow, but I'm neck deep in some stuff that I just gotta take care of in a big way. Worm says he's clean now because of some stupid probation thing, continued the vice president, announcing that Worm received Diamond Joe's seal of approval. Don't worry, I warned him not to bring that smelly-ass dog of his, and I never really talk these things anyway. I'll definitely try to catch the next one. White House sources confirmed that Worm, who has no last name, arrived on time for the 9 a.m. cabinet meeting, quickly took his assigned seat, and then proceeded to noisily eat chicken wings from a styrofoam container. Licking sauce from his fingers, cracking open the bones to suck out the marrow, and mentioning on several occasions to Secretary of Veteran Affairs Eric Shinseki that these little fuckers are extra spicy today. Cabinet members told reporters that Worm, a part-time worker at an auto body shop and a part-time roadie for the metal band Creator's U.S. tour, questioned the high-ranking government officials about how long these things take, and promised that he'd just sit here and not bug anybody until the smoke break. Joe told me these things are real easy. You just have to sit in the right place and not fuck shit up, said Worm, adding that the vice president encouraged him to keep his trap shut. He told me straight up not to sit next to the chick from Health and Human Services. They got some beef because he sent her a bunch of cell phone pictures of a pierced nipple or clit or something that got all infected. Joe clued me into all the most important shit, added Worm. He said if you have to drain the main vein, just get up and go find the can. Tip me off about not filching nothing. I guess they'll drop a dime on your ass pretty quick around here. Worm, White House sources confirmed, remained silent for most of the meeting, other than occasionally saying, "How you doing? I'm Worm." Though cabinet members said Worm's presence at the assembly was fairly uneventful, the 52-year-old reportedly interrupted a briefing on sustainable energy by suddenly shouting, "Which one of you guys is Chuck Hagel again? Joe says you're a fucking prick." In addition, Worm reportedly interfered with the proceedings by providing an anecdote about a tattoo of a naked succubus on his back, angrily answering a phone call from his parole officer, and insisting that he had hung out with Barack Obama at the Ocean Downs off-track betting parlor in Cambridge, Maryland. "I remember you were having a tough time picking the ponies," said Worm, "and I think you just got fired from your locksmith job. Oh wait, you didn't say your name was Bart, did you? Never mind then, I was super fucking trash that day. I don't remember jack." "Shit, I know. I sold you a bunch of Thiz at Joe's big party in January," added Worm. "That was some strong molly. You must have been tripping balls. Anyway, sorry for interrupting, man. Go back to talking about whatever you guys were saying." At press time, cabinet members confirmed Worm had a number of very insightful ideas concerning foreign relations with Egypt, and that the administration was moving forward to implement several of the recommended provisions. Obama issues presidential pardon to get Biden out of jail for the 3rd time this year. The president was forced to exercise his clemency powers to free Joe Biden last week after the vice president called the White House at 3 a.m. from a prison payphone. Biden implores Obama to rub one out before debate. Don't want pussy on the mind out there, reports Vice President. Denver. Noting that tonight's debate against Mitt Romney would last a full hour and a half, Vice President Joe Biden reportedly urged President Obama to rub one out so that he could get pussy off the mind before taking the stage at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Look, Barry, you need to keep your head in the game up there, and you sure as shit can't focus if you got a full load flaring up inside you, said Biden, telling Obama he should feel free to think about the First Lady, Jill Biden, or whoever pops into your head while you're polishing the old Capitol dome. Hell, I must have yanked the crank a good 8 or 9 times before my debate with Sarah Palin back in 2008, and a few times after, too, if you catch my drift. At press time, sources reported seeing the president enter a private bathroom with Biden's rare and always reliable January 1979 edition of Playboy. Joe Biden hitchhikes to Democratic National Convention. Washington. Saying it was his duty to heed the call of the open road, Vice President Joe Biden set off hitchhiking to the Democratic National Convention today, relying solely on his charm and the generosity of passing motorists to make his way across the 400 miles between Washington to Charlotte, North Carolina. According to highway sources, Biden, an avid hitcher throughout his 39-year political career, could be seen throughout much of the day perched on the southbound shoulder of I-85, wearing a Marlboro windbreaker and aviator sunglasses as he waved a handwritten cardboard "Going My Way" sign. Man, I love just getting out here, throwing a thumb into the wind, and seeing who has the cojones to pull over, said the vice president, flashing a disarming smile he claimed had gotten him tons of lifts in the past. Sometimes you only make it as far as the next town, but other times you'll get real lucky and score an epic ride. It's always a crapshoot. No better way to travel, though, he continued. By my estimates, I'll get to the convention whenever the hell I get there. Yep. Diamond Joe Biden.
No, I never read that.
Oh, God.
Did you ever see all those memes that were out?
No, I don't know if I... Yeah, I don't...
Yeah, they were just...
Newsday,
Tons of
CBS, NPR has like Joe Biden and President Obama beams.
Yeah, they're super funny.
That's totally Joe Biden, right? That's Diamond Joe.
Yeah.
Wave at the people, Joe. I'm a point at him.
Yeah,
Please just wave.
Please just wave.
I mean, that guy's great. Oh, did you ever see that photo of he's with like the bikers in that cafe? Maybe I'm Bill and I said like a first lady. What is that? Yeah, it was on. I think it was on.
And what was it?
It's. Oh, I'm sure I'll find it right away. Biker, Joe Biden, cafe.
I mean, this is for real then?
For real. This is not a retouched photo.
What's he doing?
That's a man campaigning for vice president. I love like these two guys. Like he's got this biker chick. Like, he's got his nose in her. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff where you get like Diamond Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Okay, watch your.
Okay. Just kidding. Let me go sit down very quick.
Yeah.